out here. Now everybody listen, y'all. We ain't come out here to have no good time. We come out here to give some hell. We come out here for disobedience. We're not doing what they say do. Our loved ones is dead, and we cannot bring them back. That's why we're here. So just don't come out here just to be coming out here if you ain't come out here to call. We come here to shut some shit down. We come to ask them to let them know that our loved one is dead. Because we shouldn't have to be here. If they can do it for George Floyd in Minnesota, what the hell Stockton can't do it here? Just shut this shit down. I'm tired and I'm tired and I'm tired. This place right here holds the key to all our loved ones. Not just Judge Rivera, not just Baz, not but Rocky Rocks. There's many more. There's many more families to be killed. Even when Misty was shot and killed over 600 rounds. That should have been enough. But John, we gotta come out here and stay round up. We a voice. Let's don't stand around, let's chat. Let them know we're here, we ain't going no goddamn way. Thank you. That's Dion. Another emotionally scarred mother. I want to start off by thanking all of you for joining us to end this police brutality. These that I am proudly to introduce. You will not make us feel like our loved ones' lives didn't matter. Okay? My name is Stephanie Hatton. Antoine Baris was my son, assassinated by Stockton PD. To my side, I have Karen Sutherland.
I'm the mother of Shane Sutherland, and he was murdered by Stockton PD October 8th of 2020. And we're out here to make some changes and to make these cops accountable for killing our kids.
I want to acknowledge everybody that's here today. I want to acknowledge Power to Persist, who is known for their successful abilities to assist our youth, giving focus and helping them strengthen their ability to make appropriate choices, building their social skills, and help them develop the much needed ability to make better choices when they're challenged with things in life that could take our youth away. I commend you. I'm waiting now for Marissa, so I'll come back to her. BLM out of Turlock, are you here? Fathers and Family, are you here? Solano Unity, are you here? Solano Unity, thank you for being here. We recognize you.
Solano Unity right here.
Asian population, because I got Asian in my family and I love them just like I love my black ones and my white ones and my Hispanic ones in my family. You are highly recognized and acknowledged for your special, for your ability to meet the special needs family. That is amazing, because they matter too. Yeah. And you also extend your support to No More Stolen Lives. And I commend you and I thank you for standing in solidarity with us. Do I have impact here?
Yeah. Impact's here.
Highly recognized in the community for their professionalism and their integrity in their fight for human rights, for human health, and the well-being of all of their families that they represent. These people are acknowledged by Daniel Hahn, Chief Daniel Hahn, Jill Van Dyke, Twin Rivers Unified School District, Captain Ramos Santos, and their SAC Sheriff Department. I commend you for having those people behind you, supporting you. That just lets me know that I got some decent folk in the house today, and I thank you for being here. I want to acknowledge the family of Augustine Morales. I had the pleasure of meeting his mother and sister. They're out of Sacramento. Can I get you acknowledged? Augustine Morales was killed when?
Augustine was killed by SAC PD on November 14th, 2020. He was shot in the back without no warning. The officer just crept up on him and shot him, basically unloading his weapon on my son's back before asking him to drop his weapon. My son was a registered gun owner. However, I do not know if he had a CCW. but we have a right to bear arms. We have a right to life, and we have a right to due process. These civil servants are killing us without due process.
Stockton, California. We're at the
All of these
courthouse.
killings,
This is the
none of
courthouse.
them were doing something
This-
guilty. What the fuck? This has to stop. We need to stop this.
Thank you. It's been difficult. She just had an interview, and I know that her and her daughter are very much emotionally scarred, as we all are. Their pain is great. And because Karen and I know that pain, we know their pain. I want to further acknowledge, is SAC Social Justice here? Thank you, SAC Social Justice, for being here, standing in solidarity. Us ladies in Stockton, us mothers in Stockton, we appreciate you coming
Stockton,
and supporting
California,
us.
guys, yes.
You will never be forgotten for your presence. Patrick Wetter, is any of his family here? Still acknowledging Patrick Wetter, if I'm saying his name right. He is out of Stockton. He too was killed by Stockton PD. Trevor Severs, Modesto, are you here? His mother wasn't able to make it. We're here standing in solidarity with Trevor Severs' family. This lady is having a difficult time, as we all are, and we will continue to support her and acknowledge her at every given opportunity. I want to acknowledge Jason G. Reyes Sr. He is out of San Jose. This man I met through Facebook has fully supported me, has given me courage, has given me faith, he has given me strength. I want to acknowledge him for his strong ability and his efforts he is putting in to defund the police, and he's a strong advocate for police brutality. I commend you, Jason G. Reyes Sr. out of San Jose. Is Juice in the house? Thank you, Juice. I'll let you do your own thing, but I do have one question for Juice. What does JUICE mean, and what are you contributing to the cause?
Thank you so much for having us today, and thank you so much for coming out here to stand in solidarity with all of the families. I want to first address the questions. JUICE, we've got a closed caption here for you as well, stands for Justice Unites Individuals and Communities Everywhere. And we're a Black-led group of community organizers who are dedicated to really connecting our community with the resources that we need to build our communities and really put an end to systematic injustice. Sure, yeah, absolutely. So what we're doing for the community is really trying to put our own labor as well as the labor of everybody else. If we can all come together, we'll be strong enough to really put in place the systems that need to be there to stop our communities from being terrorized by the police. One of the ways that we can do this is by taking back our funds, right? Being sure that we're spending our funds within our communities and being sure that we are really keeping each other safe. We need to really be sure that our communities can have the resources that they need to talk to each other, so that way we don't have to call the police when we have issues, and that can really put an end. Because we already know that they're not trying to work with us, right? They'll send us in circles, they'll take our resources, they'll smile in our faces and continue to put bullets in our backs. And so what we need to do is be sure that we don't need to call them. Less police and more resources means more safety. We know time and time again that police need to be completely removed from situations of mental health crisis. And I know that being Black in America today, you are constantly in mental health crisis because we are being constantly terrorized, not only by police, but also by the medical industry, also by the education industry, also by the housing industry. So it's really important that we can take back mental health crisis and put it in the hands of mental health professionals and the communities. There are already programs all across the country doing this, like Denver Star, like Cahoots. Not only are they saving taxpayers millions of dollars, but they're also saving lives. We have programs locally here in Oakland, like MH First, as well as in Sacramento. And so that's how we can really be sure that we are tying in mental health and separating that from the police brutality aspect. Not only are we doing that, but we're amplifying the families that are not getting their accountability from the local and state officials. So why is it that we always question, why is it that these families are the ones fighting day in and day out when we pay these people to do that? Yeah. So I'm gonna end what we have to say with Assata Shakur's prayer. If you guys can repeat after me. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. We must love and support each other. We must love and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. We have nothing to lose but our chains. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. We must love and support each other. We must love and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. We have nothing to lose but our chains. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. We must love and support each other. We must love and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. We have nothing to lose but our chains.
Thank you very much for that. I knew that my list was an appropriate one. I want to acknowledge Anthony Nunez out of San Jose. I don't know if his family could make it, but Anthony Nunez, we stand in solidarity with your family on your behalf. Christina Page, her son Daniel, I'm in correspondence with her from Colorado. We stand in solidarity with Christina Page. Her son was murdered by their police. Sandra Serrano out of Riverside. Her son killed, murdered, brutally. Ernie Serrano by PD. Rosemary Dunez. Her son Ernest Dunez Jr. out of Lathrop. Are you here? We stand in solidarity with you. Miss Tion Smith, her son, James Rivera Jr.
Dion speaks. She says it like we all want to.
Banners right here in the front of the mothers. These are all the people who had got murdered after James Rivera. I was trying to rush. I was in the Bay Area. I just got in. I went straight to the house. But I have pictures of everybody who was killed here in Stockton that a lot of people don't forget. We have the total of 67 people who was killed here in Stockton, California. Nobody know their name. That's sad. That's very sad. Because if we was dealing with the issue, we wouldn't be here today with these two mothers. Because they would have been held accountable. We have not had one officer been charged with manslaughter or murder. Don't y'all think there's something wrong with that? Yes. And you know, and I don't also, before I get into why I fight so hard and why I'm here, but I'm just sick of all these organizers that stuff out to George Floyd. I'm sick of y'all ass. I'm sick of y'all benefiting of names. I call y'all ambulance chasers. A lot of y'all want to talk about George Floyd, but do y'all forget it was George Floyd in Stockton? Yes. Did anybody know that? Yes. Did anybody know that there was somebody choked out here? Right. Did anybody know that? But y'all didn't know that because it didn't go televised. Agreed. But I'm going to tell y'all something why it went televised. Because the people cared about their people. Right. Did y'all notice that? The people cared about their people. That's why the city got shut the fuck up. So if you care about your people in your city, you shake that motherfucker up. Right. I'm not here to be kind. I'm not here to be light because I don't give a fuck. Because I've been out here 10 years and ain't nobody give a fuck. So I'm gonna tell y'all, see this right here? This is how I got my son back. A lot of y'all might don't know shit, but this is how I got my son back. I'm not just a murderer out here just making noise. Yes, I got my ass whooped here in Stockton by Stockton police. Yes, I got my family member fucked up out here by police. Yes, we have. I had all our supporters that came to support us got messed up right here out in Stockton. It should be no surprise to y'all. It's right there on Facebook. It's on YouTube. It's on the news. Y'all seen this? Riot gears at the City Hall. Because so they make this like this a quiet incident. It was happening right here in our city. So I'm going to ask you a question. Where do y'all go from here? Is y'all here for the real fight?
Yep.
Or do y'all just want to pop up and we want to march and see the news coming? Because if the news don't come, or if this don't come, you feel that I'm going to pass. I got to go to work. Did you think that we wanted to be here today? We got shit to do. But you got to be consistent in this fight. See, this fight is when you're sick, when you're sad,
Yep.
when you're pregnant, and when you know. I done had surgery, 2 weeks ago? I came out here, had cuts, still got it in me. But I still came out here because I know why I'm here. I know what the cause costs. Money can't buy our loved one. We gotta ask them for a dime. What is justice? Justice is giving our goddamn kids back. That's what it means to me. I don't know what it means to everybody else. You know what I mean? I don't want your dollar. I don't want your party. I don't want you to say, oh, she did this or she got a something. That ain't what I want. I want to be called Mama by James. I want James to come in there and say, Mama, I got a girlfriend. Mama, I got a baby on the way. I want James to come in there and tell me something. Oh, I want him to tell me, Mama, I just fucked up. I had a bad day. But I would never get that. But I'm going to each one of y'all going to be held accountable.
Can you guys
And
hear
I'm
this
leaving
at
it
all?
on all y'all step. If you're going to stand for something, or you're going to fall for anything. Because anything that's to be bought can be sold. So I'm going to let y'all know that now. And if you didn't get it, I'm going to say it again. Anything that can be bought can be sold. And a lot of us been sold the fuck out by a lot of these organizers. I'm going to keep it real. I've been out here for 10 years. It's going to be 11 July 22nd. It'll be 11 years I've been boots on the ground. What they call it, all toes on the ground. And it's been hard as fuck. Excuse me, because I'm mad as hell because I'm here again. I done buried 6 family members in this
Thanks,
fight for
John.
justice. 6 family members. Community violence too. Brother was shot and killed. Didn't even know about brother. Brother was on his way to the motel, got shot in the back of the head. Died instantly. I mean, I've been protesting, burning. Protesting, burning. Protesting, burning. See this right here? Do y'all see this? And if y'all ain't see this, come closer. You can come when I finish talking to see why I carry these scriptures and why I'm so angry. I don't know if y'all don't know what this is. This is an autopsy picture, right? You see how they opened my son up like he's a fucking, I don't know what you want to call it, but this is how they opened my son up. I got a lot of graphic pictures. But what makes me so mad is how they took the bullet out of my son's body. That I have to live with every day. At the end of the day, when I leave this protest, it's just like my son just got killed today. It flickered me. It's flickered me. Every time I look at a mother, to know that I understand what she's going through. I understand with the no support. I understand how we're trying to find our own way. And we still don't know how to find our way. Every day is a challenge. Every day is a challenge. And a lot of y'all think it's easy. No, it's not easy. Birthday's coming. Mother's Day was just yesterday. Is it easy? No, because you know what?
But we made it through, didn't we?
Amen.
As much as we made it through yesterday,
Yes.
we made it through.
But you know what? You know that we have other kids or maybe grandkids to remind us that we know one thing, that particular kid is not coming to that door. Because it's not like having all your kids. That kid was 1, 10, or 20. It's nothing like having a kid of your own that's been taken. So a lot of people forget that we carried a baby for 9 months in a womb. And I don't know a lot of y'all, some of your daddies, because some of y'all men be happy to have a baby too, because y'all work with it all the way. But just to hear that first boom boom. Now we're trying to figure out whether it's going to be a girl, it's going to be a boy, what we're going to land on, we're going to go shopping, we're going to do everything under the sun. We're trying to eat healthy, we're trying to walk right, we're trying to go house sex, we're trying to do everything to make sure that this is a pretty, healthy baby. And then for our baby to be born into the world, we become motherhood. There's no manual to tell us how to be a mother. You can't Google that today. How do you be a mother? Do anybody know? It's still a mystery today, ain't it? Just like it's a mystery when a child begins to walk. A lot of people say, well, you know, the child is delayed. So I'm trying to figure out how to delay. Because, you know, a lot of times, a lot of our kids have been delayed, but we don't know that. But in my eyes, it's not delay. It's just his time. And so what I wanted to say is that we need y'all. We need y'all because y'all depend on ethnic justice or not. The key is in y'all hands. We need the support, we need the fire, and we need to address the issue of what's going on, not just our loved ones, but many, many more and many, many before us. Now, this lady named Tori up here, I know a lot of y'all seen me on the video with her. She said in her own words that she tortured my family and me. I know y'all heard it. It was not no surprise, but we're still out here standing today asking for justice, and we open all cases, not just for James Rivera, but for all. Well, I brought these pictures right here today to ask her. This is what I asked her. This is why I brought this particular picture today. Did many times, Tori, he's knocked inside of the garage before bag it up. Y'all, police car knocked him into two cars, into two mailboxes, into a garage, and opened 48 rounds. So you already know he was going to knock from the country just for the wreck. But before the wreck, y'all had hit him from the bed. He got hit from the driver's door. He was hit with the police vehicle, and he was hit from the back to knocking him into a garage. And he had to hit hard to be almost in the second garage. But I asked her again, them many times,
There.
and you tell me not one officer can be charged, manslaughter, nothing, just get fired, that's all he can get, fired. We don't be held accountable. Then the other one, he can retire to being the detective. John Nesbitt, Gregory Dunn, still, he retired, but Eric Aguilar, he's a detective. And John, he's still working for the Stockton Sheriff, right today, we speak here in Stockton. He's from Stockton, he's coming from Stockton as well. But these two guys, now y'all notice, she's in the DA office for a long time. Y'all gotta remember she was in the DA office before she was DA. So she knows what's going on. She knows what's going on. So now, guess what else we got, y'all? We can't stop nothing because we can do it next. Get her out. If she ain't vote for us, it's time to go. It's time to shut the fucking door. It's time to shut the door. Now, 2020 ain't that far. 2020 gonna be here. So I ask y'all, is y'all gonna stand with us? Because we're gonna need y'all for the whole summer. I know y'all might have trips. I got a trip planned too. I'm going camping too, but I'm gonna still be out here marching with y'all. We gotta let them know when 2020 comes, we know our officer will be charged in Stockton, California, y'all.
I want to speak.
I'm saying that. I'm an officer charged. Do you wear something?
Very cool.
I'm gonna run up. I don't give a
That's all you know and half an
I
hour.
mean, we want one. We want an officer to be charged for murder. Point blank. We're not asking for nothing less. That's a demand. Now, even with her son, Burrs. Dee Wells murdered her son. Dee Wells would have murdered her son, right, y'all? Because he had killed Kobe Friday.
Because he killed Kobe.
He cut the camera off and cut it back on. And the city was out, what, 3.5 million for that. The liberty, the lied, said he was a, what, domestic violence. You had this, I mean, they had everything under the sun to not get the family support from other people because they already know. They already programming us. They video us too. They already know what kills the flame. The media help, and then the community help. When the community go to sleep. So they said, oh, that case ain't going nowhere. But guess what? I did not leave my sister's side. I told my sister, I waited there till 1 in the morning. My sister got there at 1 in the morning. I sat there. And I waited there to greet her, to let her know that she was not alone. And I said, we will get justice for your son. And guess what? We didn't get no justice, but we made the motherfuckers pay to let the people know that we was telling the truth about this whole situation. So now when everybody seen it came out about Kobe Friday and the settlement, everybody want to get on board. But we've been meeting y'all before the media come out with it. We've been telling y'all this before the media told y'all. So I'm going to tell y'all something that I don't know if y'all seen. But there's a video out there where Dee Wells said he's going to be famous.
Okay.
Did you see that video? Well, Dee Wells said he was going to be famous. It was a couple years ago, we had did a protest in Pinfield area. They came out the riot gears, pushing us, trying to take us down, and we still hold our ground. That's how the fight was. We took the fight all the way down Pacific, and we shut that shit down. I told him I smell bacon. When we got there, Dee Wells already wanted to get his strike. And he got it. Because he didn't only kill her son, but he was involved in another. We had an officer out here, also changed his name, Sister Bob. We got a lot of corruption here in Stockton. But I want y'all to do me a favor. Anybody that goes on YouTube, I want y'all to Google Stockton Police. Google Stockton Police. And when you Google that, y'all can email me personally, or y'all can Facebook me. Peter Smith. And my email is blsmith13@gmail.com. And tell me what you see. Tell me what you see. I'm going to see if a lot of y'all going to do the homework. So that's going to be a test for y'all. All these families right here. Lodi, he was trying to kill too. This young man, he was Spanish. They sent him back to Mexico. But he mattered. Police choked him out. Just like the other son. I was also with Patrick. I was at the scene after I heard that. I was there when the police came out with the dog. It was they were concerned about the dog. But we still.
And the dog was fine.
Right. That was fake. That was trying to justify that. Well, he was shot and killed. So a lot of these lawyers do not want to pick these cases up because they're not high-profile cases. Y'all didn't hear me, huh? A lot of these lawyers do not want to pick these cases up if they're not high-profile cases. And if they do find the case somewhat reasonable, they will benefit from that case to push the high-profile case. Y'all don't know nothing about that, right? Do y'all see what's really going on right now? Do y'all see what's really going on? A lot of shit is starting coming out the woodwork. A lot of stuff starting to come. A lot of organizers are being put on blast. A lot of stuff is, but I don't want y'all to be encouraged. Don't stop being encouraged. Still fight. Still fight. Because that's why we don't get no justice. Because a lot of these organizers is come
Shane
from
Sutherland's sister right there.
The fight. You don't dance in a fight. What
Shane's
the hell I'm
mom.
dancing when my son is dead? You know what I
Antoine
mean?
Breese's
So,
mom in the back.
okay. But also, I
James
want to get back
Rivera's
right quick,
mom
Tell
speaking.
you about my story right quick before I give her back the mic. James Rivera was 16 years old, was murdered the day before his 17th birthday. They was shot at 48 times, 18 hit him. I fought for 10 years. I got a court date in court. They didn't want me to go to court, but I fought all the way. They tried to settle with me multiple times. I did not settle. I fought them all the way. Then they blackballed me, and I'm still fighting. What I wanted to encourage the family, that we got your back. We're going to help you. We're going to show you how to organize a lot of stuff that we did, and a lot of stuff that we could have did different. But I'm going to show y'all how to fight, because there's a lot of aim now. We have more talent than we have. And also I want to thank all of y'all that came out in Stockton, because a lot of y'all scared to come to Stockton. But I'm glad that y'all came to stand with us, because I've been trying to get a whole bunch of y'all out for 10 years, but I'm glad today was the day y'all out here today. So that lets me know that that fight and that cry and that pain that I've been going through was for nothing. So I want to say thank y'all as well, and I'm not trying to take up much of your time, but I want to ready to march, and I want to shout, and I want to let them know he's not going to talk to what y'all talking about. We're going over there. That's where we're going. That's what they're doing today. We spent 300 million for that. That's where we're going.
300 million.
We're going over there.
So, this is our new courthouse, guys.
Her fight has been extensive.
That's our new courthouse. They said if we go up on the steps, we will be arrested. If we break the plane where that guy just went, we will be arrested. They say we can't go up this line right here. That line's the demarcation line. They say if we go up there, we'll be arrested. I've talked to Dion many times up on the steps. If they arrest one, they have to arrest us all.
She knows how to stay professional, whether it's family or friend. This lady is instrumental in a lot of activities on a national level. And she is not the type of person that won't say, hey, I learned this, and spread it to you. And she's the type of lady that doesn't hold back. If it's good, it's good, and she gonna give it to you. It's my honor to introduce Miss Tashante McCoy. I have much respect for her. Tashante, I have
Exactly,
some
bro.
questions for you. I asked you here because your word is relevant, your word is significant, and I know that you stay 100 all day long, inside and behind closed doors. Please, here's my question. Y'all gonna work with you flying away. As a community leader, and being a national advocate on many levels, what can we also do to achieve our goals in building relationships with the police and assisting them in truly recognizing the immediate need for change in Stockton?
I want to say I love you dearly, and I see you, I feel you, and I will always, always, always support you. And if Dion is your son, love you too. I see you. Before I answer that question, if you don't mind, I want to pray. Say a prayer. Yesterday was Mother's Day, and we have mothers here in our presence who have had the moment should have to bury their child. And so I want to take a moment of silence. So, if you could bow your head and join me in prayer. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we humbly come before you today, just saying thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to pray. Thank you for this opportunity to gather on behalf of justice and accountability for these mothers and their children, Father God. I pray that you cover each and every person who is present here, that your Holy Spirit shakes them and resonates on their hearts and minds, that they know they have the power within them to heal this situation. And so I pray, God, that you help us to be strong and to be intentional in where we plant our feet and where we put our voices. I pray that you blanket them with peace in the quiet hour. Sometimes these scenarios can be re-traumatizing and triggering to the families. And so I pray that as they depart here, that they know that they've done a good thing, that they have represented the legacy of their children in a way that will be felt and will be heard. And lastly, God, I just ask for your grace, and mercy as we move this system. The system will be moved, but it is moving. And so we just thank you for that. In your son Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Yeah. So, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? And loudly, because, I mean, this is a demonstration, but it's, the purpose of the demonstration is to be heard, right? So, move.
Thanks.
Move. Repeat after me. Move. 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 Like that's energy. Move. Move. And the reason why I wanted you to say move is because we need to move this system. We need to move this system out of the way. But in order to do that, we have to know the power that lives within us. And for forever and a day, we've been conditioned to think that we don't have power, that the only thing that we can do is be wild and reckless and misbehave and then go home hopeless at the end of the day. But that's not true. To answer your question, the way that we do that is, my thing is getting their business. Say, getting their business. Learn your leadership. Don't be afraid to knock on the door and request to have a meeting and have conversations and get in their business and talk to them. And if you have leadership, whether it's city council, whether it is your local legislators on the local level, the nationwide level, the president, whoever, if they do not support police reform, or they do not support prosecuting road cops, you need to get rid of them. Straight up. We have the power to do that. We have the power to organize and strategize to remove people within the system and the system, to remove them. And don't be afraid to go into those spaces, because you cannot impact and influence anything that you're not connected to. You can't. You can't do it. You can be heard, you can be seen, but if you really want to move something, you have to be able to tap into that power that lives within you and to come up with a strategy and get into people's business in a way that really changes things. Some of these babies that I see, my little cousins and babies in the present, that
I unplugged the mic. Can you still hear everything real good?
You know what I mean? Like, that's how we have to start thinking. If we want to see something that serves us and takes care of us, we have to literally begin to educate ourselves on how the system works and how we can move it by putting ourselves in their space. Some of these responses, some of the things that we do, there is a calculated response. They already know what to do. They're going to pull out their gear, and they're going to move you.
Thanks, Stevie.
But we have to come up with other ways. And if you want to see...
Thanks, guys, for being here. Thanks, Stevie, for being here for me, bro.
And we have the power to do that. So I hope that answered that question correctly.
We're going to move because that's the only way that we're going to be accomplished, because these tears and this pain got to ease, or none of us are going to be healthy. So we got to come together. We got to stay connected. We got to dig. We got shovels, let's dig. Shantae said, get in their business. What you got in mind when you gunned my son down. Now we're in yours. Now we in your business. What do we want? Justice! With accountability, what do we want? Justice! We want to be recognized as human beings. Yes. We want our loved ones to be acknowledged by all our cities. We don't want for our loved ones to be pushed under a rug and not acknowledged as if their life didn't exist or it was devalued because they had a criminal history. How dare you? But what did we know? We was just being mamas. We didn't know nothing about standing on a corner pleading. Did you guys? I didn't. Every month when I paid my taxes, I said, thank you, my child is going to be safe.
That's why we're
my
here,
grandsons, my great-grandsons.
That's why we're here right there.
I paid them fools to kill mine. And now I was lost, but I'm not lost anymore. Together, from every city that's here right now, this is how we doing this. And if we need to knock on a door, we're going to knock on the door. Because guess what? Is Augustine going to knock on your door? Is James going to knock on your door? Is Shane? Is they going to knock on our door anymore? Never, moms. So as we raise these fists, we pounding and we pounding hard. Because this pain, this emotional scar that we deal with every day, we got to do something with it. We ain't going to cry about it, we going to be about it. We going to stay respectful, but you going to hear what I feel about the way you shot mine in his head, or you shot Augie in his head, and you choked the hell out of Shane, and you riddled that baby boy's body with all them bullets. And you want us to lay down and get under a cover and go to sleep? Not gonna happen. We want justice with accountability.
Yes.
And if we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. I love you too. Okay, I see that I have a lady here who has traveled like most of you have. This lady has allowed many of us, and I know the Morales family can confirm, and Shane's mom can confirm that there's a lady out here who lost her way. She turns her pain into focusing on our pain. You know, she took her finances to prepare for us to voice ourselves. And when we were interviewed by this lady, she said, I don't care how you said, I don't care if you cry, I don't care if you break down. We need to know what happened to your loved one. Today with honor, I want to introduce Miss Marissa Becerra Barrera. That's two of them. Okay, here you go. There you go.
Thank you, Stephanie. Hi, everybody. I drove up from Sacramento, and I'm coming from my loved one. It's Michael Barrera. He's over there in my baby stroller. My baby just turned 8 weeks, and he's the second baby I've had without my brother, and I have 3 now. So he was killed in Woodland, California. That's where our hometown. We're born and raised, and I moved once he was killed because of the police and everything they were doing to my family afterwards. I feel a lot of loss, and the faces you guys see, for people that are not directly impacted, this is just a little tiny bit of the people who are killed by police. Nothing. And it's a little bit of the families. I'm happy that the families came together in Stockton today, and thank you guys for having me here. And Patrick, that's his mother. I want to use this example. His mother she's physically disabled. She can't come out and fight. She can't. And a lot of these mothers are unable because of their grief to speak out, or they don't know how to. They don't have help. And then people get killed by police, and no one cares unless it's a nationally recognized case that's getting all this attention. That's when people, even our own loved ones, don't care about our loved ones enough to come out and fight with us or speak up for our loved one. But they will post nationally recognized ones, and it's messed up, but that's the truth. So the show, what she refers to as me helping other families speak, is I started, once my brother was killed, it's been 4 years, he was murdered, he was similar to suffocated him to death, he couldn't breathe, my brother was also tased, and other things happened, and they got away with it. So I meet mothers like this all the time, and it's fucked up. Some of them, I met a couple weeks ago, I met a mom who, it had been 6 years, she had never spoken to not one single person, but she came across our show, which I started, Voices of Strength. It's a non-profit organization, but it's for the family and it's
Voices
by the
of
families.
Strength,
It's not these
good, guys.
activists that want to come and they want to get the shine. They want to be in the spotlight. They get funding for it, whatever they're doing. A lot of times they're not genuine. So these organizations, you guys,
Thanks,
my
Mike.
recommendation to people,
Free air
I'm not trying to badmouth nobody. Family-led organizations like Sonia, where'd she go? She's been here for 10 years, and people haven't been hearing her, but I love that she comes out and supports other impacted families, although nobody really supported her back then. So that's what that's about. Family-led organizations are important right now that a lot of people are watching. With Voices of Strength, we share different stories from across the nation, highlight a different victim every week, and we let their families come on and share the truth, because when people are killed by police, immediately the false narrative is released. So I heard these ladies, when I first talked to Stephanie and the family, all the families, they're having to defend our loved ones, like, well, this wasn't true, and I get it. So that's why I'm like, you can share exactly what happened to you guys, exactly how you found out, exactly how your family got treated by these police right after they murdered your loved one, and that's what the families get to do. So if anybody wants to see the interviews of these mothers, voiceofstrength.info, you can find all that. You can find the information there. We just started, so we are inviting the other families that haven't joined us yet to come on and share with us. So if I really did one a week for all the victims, it would go on for years and years. So it's messed up, but we get to see the truth, and that's important right now. I want to thank everybody that came. If you're not directly impacted, just keep showing up to the families, keep sharing stuff. If you can't go to places, sharing the stories, talking to people in your personal life about these killings, because it can happen. As you see, everybody, we're all mixed people. This is a mixed group of people, and it happened to all of us. So at this point, everybody truly should be worried, and it can happen to anybody. I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you guys, and I'm sorry to all the impacted families, and especially the new ones that are just getting blindsided like we all have been.
That's a beautiful young lady. You are quite fortunate to be as old as I am and be guided by you. Can I get a right on for the year? Every last one of you youngsters got me going. You've given me strength, and I'm taking that strength and I'm passing that shit on. How grateful I am to be able to sit down and listen at you young folk educate me. Do you know what a blessing that is? And they trying to create a community where your life will be took so that you can go forward in your life. We'll be damned if that's so. Y'all are our future. And if your voice is relevant and significant now, that's the reason why we gotta shut it down. Because they're trying to shut our youth down. And our youth got talent. Our youth got voices. And our youth ain't backing down. Our youth are paying attention. And they're hollering at us older ones. And they're telling us things where their ears been, where their education is. And you want to kill them and get away with it. You want to shoot them because they got their cell phones and they're wearing their little Gucci belts and True Religions. Yeah, they sagging, but they also sagging going to school. And they got a right to do just that. As long as they maintain the curriculum of this so-called law. All right, let me get back, and I appreciate y'all. I'm going to try not to keep you any longer. Just want to acknowledge Jasmine Delafont, who is the senior regional organizer for Stockton for Gathering for Justice, in which I am a part of, and I believe Karen is too. Did I mention Anthony Nunez out of San Jose? Standing in solidarity with Jakey Servan, standing with Devin Carter. What else did I want to speak on? Did I acknowledge everybody present? If I haven't, please. Because I want to speak on some issues that's relevant. And then I want to hear from the sisters who lost their brothers. Because see, it ain't all about the mamas when they left behind their little sisters. And 9 times out of 10, your brothers, whether they were older than you or younger than you, they were your protector. So they got a cold pain that maybe us mothers don't feel, but they got that pain, same pain, and I want that recognized today. I want to touch base on a couple of things that I want to work on with the mothers, the emotionally scarred mothers. I'm in the process of seeing how we can create a bill to minimize this false narrative. The police take a false narrative and they have no clue how it impacts the family. When you say horrible things, it affects us on our jobs. It affects us in relationships. It affects us with family. And I don't feel that if you killed my son for some reason, you got the right to go back in a fake archive and bring it up. So I'm trying to see how I can come up with a bill for that. I also want to work on a bill that does not allow any PD to have hands on them body cams. I want to fight for an independent person, if it's a critical incident, that they be on that scene. You had 5 agencies at the scene when you murdered my son. Give up them damn motorcycles and shit and order a team to be present and collect them and make them police, including the chief, sit down with that team and watch them body cams. And that's one of the main things I'm going to work on, because them body cams ain't got no business in the hands of those who just gunned down ours. And then you take them body cams and you flip and tip, and you make our loved ones look like shit, and then you present a false narrative.
They edit the body count and they keep the other ones for themselves.
How dare you? So that is a bill that I am going to try to work on. I have a lot of people in my life. I have Jay Jordan, Carmen Perez, I have Shante McCoy. We have a lot of people that we're in association with, and we are going to have a sit down and see how we can move this forward. Another thing Karen and I are a part of is SB 299, and that's a bill that I'd like to email your councilmen, your senators, and all that. SB 299, in short, allows us some help. After you done murdered ours, and you go home for 3 days and eat steak and give that to your wife and lay her up real good.
Damn it.
Because you done shot somebody's brains out.
Damn it. The truth hurts, guys.
That's right.
The truth hurts.
SB 299.
You know? Sorry.
Well, most importantly, give recovery trauma services. Let me tell you something. There's some difference. There's a difference between mental health and recovery trauma services. That's a specialty. When your kid can watch her daddy be rolled by after they shot him up, that child needs help. A pill is not going to do it. San Joaquin Street ain't going to do it. They're amateurs when it comes to trauma recovery services. And if we care anything about our youth and our mental state, because I think we can all agree at times we loony Corleone after this happened to our children. I know I am. I needed some help. And thank God Antoine had enough love that laid him to rest. But what about those who didn't? There is no door open to say, hey, can I just get 100? I'm short 100. You got to go and do a car wash after the police that murdered your kid or your father. You got to cook when you're emotionally drained, make plates, and sell it. Do you know how many plates it takes to bury a loved one? We have nothing. So I'm working hard. I've been fortunate to go face to face with the senator over the bill, and I believe it's moving forward. There's another bill in question, which is the SB SB2, is that your survey? SB2 is that decertification. If you kill here, or you're abusive here, you will not get hired again. Your ass is out. And I back that, and we pushing that. Karen and myself are involved in a lot of different things, but these are some issues that we are working on.
You'd be surprised how many times these cops go out and hurt somebody or murder somebody, and they actually get fired, because that's rare. But then when they do, they go out and they get a job in another city or another state, and they continue that behavior elsewhere. So this bill, if passed, will keep them from being able to do that. So once they're decertified, that's it. They are done. No more police
A
officers,
new logo.
law enforcement, nothing.
Damn
They
it.
don't hurt anybody under a badge again.
And our next bill will be working on how you do when these youngsters going in the criminal system. You're locking them down all day long. You creating these charges that nothing is warranted. And they're stuck and will be stuck in prison for the rest of their life. I'm going to address that. But I got first things first. One other issue is, and I'll say this respectfully, because I respect BLM movement so, because I know we've been neglected. As an African American woman, being of this color, when I look in the mirror every day, I know we was disrespected. Because my daddy is black and disrespected. But my mother wasn't. And of course I got that feeling, and I'm gonna stick by BLM. But today, it ain't about the black life that mattered. I was hurt as hell when I read from Jason Reyes how the brown community got overlooked. Well, I got brown in mind, and I got white in mind. And today, it's about all our lives is mattering today.
Thank you.
Because see, Karen ain't black. So obviously the police don't give a damn who they killing anymore. Shane is Caucasian. Augustine is Hispanic. Please, can we come together on this with no disrespect to BLM, because it's an entity within itself. And that's for my folks. But I got folks in all areas. And I got to stand up for him. When he said my brother got killed and didn't nobody even recognize it, that hurts me. So when I go after whatever I go after, if I gotta go back to school, I'm fighting for us all right here today. I am going to do my very best to get the city manager, Harry Black, Christina Fagazzo, who is now our vice mayor, Kevin Lincoln, who is our mayor, and Chief Eric Jones. I want them to give a press conference and call us to it. I need you out here to say that their lives were acknowledged, and I understand why you're feeling the way you feel. I understand the questions, but I want you to say it where the community can hear you say it. That's what I want. I want my city leaders to come and say, Miss Hatton,
Oh shit.
Miss Sutherland,
Voices of
I'm giving
Strength
a
on
press
Instagram.
conference, and I want you present, because I want you to know that we acknowledge that your sons were killed by our officers, and we're going to do everything I can to make sure it's justified or unjustified. But I need you not to say that shit behind closed doors. I want you here. I want you standing in open view with us. And that's my next step, is to get our city leaders. And it's my hope that they'll invite the DA too. Now I know we have our feelings about the district attorney, but I'm sorry.
was gonna ask the lady, but she's over there feeding the baby and not with a bottle.
And I'll
So.
never disregard that. My grandchildren were in their moments of despair. And she handed me a phone that said, "Pardon me." But I just made the mama. But it's mama that is the city leader. Step up here. That she will join us soon. Because our district attorney got a lot of power. And it's my hope that she has a full understanding of her community. I don't know. I don't know her personally. Okay? We got no power. We got no power. At this time, we need to get these people to come to our level and say what needs to be said. If you're not acknowledged, you ain't got shit coming. And this is what they go do. Remember what boy did, here goes. I'll be damned if that's so. Another black boy did. Here go a check. What they gonna do? Mexican pig. Here go a check. That is not. I need you to come out here and recognize if there's a wrong and make that wrong a right and then do it. You behind closed doors is insignificant. Today we stand here emotionally scarred for accountability of all our city leaders. And I promise you, Karen and the other mothers, we're going to get these bills done. We're going to fight for this because check it out. I'm going to have Bethany, Augustine's sister and my daughter to my young is there another sister here of a loved one that has passed? Denise Bradley. Denise Bradley. Acknowledge you to come up here and express what this has done to you as a sister, to your big brother. You do next, Denise. Okay. These are the sisters. We say so quick because mamas, we lose our kids. But we got some sisters that I want to acknowledge. Biological sisters, your brother dead. How many are in the house? We got Augustine, Tamaya Baris. Please, Tamaya Baris, your brother Antoine Baris was killed. Is there any? I just want the sisters. And Kira Southern. There you go. Still?
My name is Marisa Morales, Augustine's my brother. My mom kind of shared a little bit of this story. Just to take pictures of my brother so we didn't get an autopsy, and we were told that we wouldn't get an autopsy until the morning. So I went to get video of my brother and pictures of his body, cut up and everything. Because for me, I'm not gonna get, a settlement. I'm not his kid. I'm not next to kid. But that's my brother. And I know if that was me, he would be here. Because he was my big protector. So I'm gonna fight for him. I'm gonna be his voice because he doesn't have one anymore. And it's hard, it's also hard not only because we're the sisters, but we also have to step up and take care of our moms even more, so there's more pressure. Not in a bad way, but just, we have to step up even more. And so it's hard. It's not easy just being a sibling. Me and my brother were close, he was, like I said, he was my big brother, he was my protector, he was the only man in my life that I actually could ever rely on and trust. My daddy ain't around, My older brother lives in another state, so Augustine was the only one who was always there for me and that I could always trust with myself, with my daughter, with anybody. And so not having him here is really hard. Yesterday was Mother's Day, and Augustine always took my mom, me, his girlfriend, and his daughter. He would take us all out there every single Mother's Day. And so this morning I was thinking about that, like, dang, man, like, we're not gonna get that anymore. So it's hard.
Good job.
I'm David Red, sister.
This is Kira, this is Shane's sister. It's just too hard for her to talk about this, so I'm gonna speak for her. But she had a baby that made Shane an uncle, basically. So that was his pride and joy, her son, because he made him an uncle. But it's been really hard for all of Shane's siblings, and then having to basically take care of me because I'm a mess. I mean, I'm just a complete mess now. So even when I try to hold it together, they know, they can tell, and they help me pick up the pieces a little bit. She helps me cook, and her brother Jaden was unable to make it today, but he has been out with me by my side at just about all of these rallies and protests that we do. So it's been very hard on Shane's siblings, with everything. So.
Hi, I'm Tamaya Burris, the sister of Antoine Burris. To express the way that this affected my life, I can't even put it into words. It was just me and Antoine left, and I cherish that. My brother was like a father to my kids, especially my oldest. My life every day is like, I just take it day by day because accepting the fact that he's never going to pull up to my house again is the hardest thing ever. Realizing that my kids don't have an uncle anymore, accepting that it's hard. Watching his kids every day and their pain is hard. We always been close with each other's kids. So I would say seeing his kids every day is the hardest thing, their pain. Seeing how this whole situation has consumed my mom and how she can't focus on anything else. Like, this is her life now. Trying to get justice for my brother is painful. I mean, there's really nothing to say, but I miss him. I miss his hugs. I miss his kisses. I miss knowing that there was a man in my life that gave a damn about me no matter what. He meant everything to me, and I miss him. I wish he was here.
Dr. Petey, you see what you did? You devastated families, not just the mamas. You devastated families. Now, if I would have had a reason for you to shoot them, okay, sometimes we got to lay in a bed and sleep in it. But you shot ours. That's why we're here. Because you shot ours in a wrongful, unnecessary, unjustified manner. And that's why we're here. No one is stupid. If you challenge the law, them boys, y'all said it, them boys is trained to shoot to kill. But when you got your hands up, or you got your back turned, and they shoot you in your head and in your back, and you got a cell phone, or as in Sean Monterosa, he had his work hammer in his loop, on his pants, on his knees. And you wonder why we're here. We're here because there was some wrongdoing, and you boys in blue have overstepped your boundaries. And us mothers who are emotionally scarred and devastated are here to tell you today, back off. Stand up accountable. Today I pledge $10,000. Do I need to pull it out? For any police to tell them you're Conrad. You post 10 for me to tell them my fault. I post 10 today. For you to tell on yours. We gonna call it not
PDF,
Crime
please.
Stopper. We gonna call it Mama Stopper. I'm tired of us having to get bills, come on platforms, haul shit, all this, because you shot and killed our loved ones. I'm tired that if one of ours make a mistake, you cuff them and you take him immediately to jail. Pending investigation, discovery, all that. My rally today is for you and Blue to understand you are not above the law. That's right.
Share this,
You
guys.
are not above the law.
It's going to get real good.
If what you did was questionable, then your ass need to sit with no bail. Not get sent home with my money, my daughter's money, and all y'all money, paying that paycheck for 3 days. In some states and cities, it's 30 days. This is enough. Is enough. Say it, enough. 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 What do we want? Justice. Accountability for what? Justice. Now our loved ones ain't coming back. But you're not gonna kill this one. You're not gonna kill that one. You're not gonna kill him. You're not gonna kill him. And you damn sure ain't gonna kill baby. I appreciate you coming today. I had one guest, which I'm quite fond of. Her and I were united in tragedy because the same police that killed my son killed her son first. And he was not held accountable. So he got to kill my 20. I'd like to introduce Miss Denise Friday Hall. No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No racist!
Police!
No justice!
No peace!
No racist!
Police!
No killer!
Police!
No killer! Police! No killer! Police! Hello, everyone. I come here to stand and let you know that David Wells is a killer cop. Yes. He killed Kobe Friday, my son, with 4 children, worked every day, and he pinned him up in a corner over in Kentfield and pinned him rocking behind there, and he shot my son in cold-blooded murder. And the district attorney, Tony Salazar, sit there and justify him killing my son, and she's sitting right over there, right there. Write your hands so they'll know who the DA is.
This building right here is the district attorney's office, guys, right here. They're right on the other side of that wall.
Off the streets before Kobe even got killed. He was He was bullying the community. He was out there sicking dogs on people.
Yep.
His killer dog.
Yep.
He was out there letting them know that I'm the sheriff in town over here, and whoever don't like it can die. And that's just what he does. He's a killer cop. If he had been off the street before Kobe got killed, my son would be alive. Antoine would be alive.
Antoine too. He was involved. He was involved with many. He killed 2 of these women's sons.
You got a list of the man.
Her right there on the other side of Rivera's mama, and this one's mom.
All kind of stuff. Okay. The man won. That when the law enforcement kill our children, that they should be held accountable. Not only be held accountable, they should also be drug tested.
Yep. Yeah.
Drug tested.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I say drug tested.
Drug test. I agree.
Drug tested.
Yeah.
Not only that,
Oh, these are that.
they all at the
Oh, yeah, I
time
know who
that
this
he
is.
executed my son, the body camera was not rolling. Come on, someone. I didn't have, and then they showed us a fake. The DA called us up in there, all proud up in here, like they was really gonna show us something. They come showing us a fake video. The fake video was the video off of the building on the opposite side of where my son was executed, and you could not see nothing but pavement. Pavement. No whales chasing my son. My son had a cell phone down by his side when he was executed, and he scrambling all over my son. They told me what happened. Okay, then we had to demand that the Stockton Police Department immediately stop pursuing and harassing our public people because of AB 392. Yes.
No, they won't.
And then the year that my son was killed, they had just passed the Racial and Identity Profiling Act. So he shouldn't have been messing with my son in the first place. Oh, he's black. Oh, he got dreads. Oh, he having white teeth. Oh, he got on white tennis shoes. That's racial profiling.
When he was
he executed my son. And the city, the DA, none of them did nothing. And they covered it up. And they covered up and called people police. When the DA left the district attorney office, she walked over to the county. She walked over there. Then, okay, something else. The outcome had demanded that the body cameras be released within 72 hours. 72
Air cooled. Are you here? Transparency. I need a mod. I need a mod to help me. Hello?
Termination, suspension, no pay, leave, termination, no pay. You do not deserve to get a 3-day pay on my watch. How about that? No pay. And if you tell someone
Her?
as a citizen in these United States of America, in the state
I was in my backyard. I was in my backyard. And I heard 9 gunshots. And it echoed so loud. It was so close. I ran through the house, ran out front, and ran. I just ran towards all the sirens, and it was Colby Friday. It was the lady that was just speaking, son. they shot. David Wells shot him.
I agree. But then we want to talk about what's coming up next that we're going to need y'all's actions on. SB.
I'm trying to
AB.
figure out if this is the district
We're going to
attorney right
need y'all
here,
in Sacramento for that.
here beside me that I was just recording.
Then
Sitting
we
down.
want to talk about the other action is AB.
I was going to have somebody.
And that's the one where the juvenile, they mistreat the juveniles, they take our children, they put them in jail, they give them no out, they don't train them, they don't teach them, they don't do anything. And that act, Tori also, she agreed that it should go into effect. She was on the phone and I was.
Yeah, that's Tori.
She did. And at that point,
They said she was sitting right over here. I was pointing at her building.
down here in cases that we can't even name by name right this second because we got the whole list of Stockton. We want the cases reopened. If the case is closed, we want it reopened. If the case has not been justified or not justified, we want to justify it. All cases that are seen on your back. Hold the police accountable for killing our loved ones. Tori Salazar.
Verb.
Forget a settlement conference. Right. Forget a settlement. I don't want no dang money. I want that.
Is that Tori? Hey, Erkel? That is. There's no doubt about it. Looks like she's saying it also. Someone has you blocked, Spot Check? Who only got 4 people in here? Spot Check News. Where you at again?
There's mothers who's struggling to keep it turning into rage because you took off, and we plainly see it. If a person couldn't read or write, I can see a wrongdoing. And the fact that in most cases, if I may, you make us feel like we're hella stupid. And by what we see is not what we see. And I know what I see. I know what I see. So you cannot pacify a mother where you done wrongfully and willfully killed her son. Now in my case, Antoine walked out his door, crumpled, 11 stones down, with 5 agencies on him, and a dog. That wasn't good enough. In training, it's my belief that they said kill him. They said kill him. My entire family, from here to New York, shed. And I'm going to tell you, I got folks that's law enforcement from the feds on campus. It's shed.
I'm afraid.
Walking 11 stones.
Trying to, you know.
Down, like that sign right there. You let him get in his car. You let him get in his car. And we all know what happened. So, I think that all city leaders owe us an apology to Gary Leach for disrespecting our intelligence. How dare you disrespect our intelligence when I know what I saw? Now I respectfully ask that you all join with me when I get ready to ask all city leaders, because I am not too proud to be in their company. I'm going to tell you that right now, because I want you to look in my eye and acknowledge the pain. And I want you to acknowledge just one time that you caused this. It wasn't no accident that you killed our boy. That was a planned behavior. Now my biggest goal, if God keep here, is that damn police training. Why in the hell, when you shoot, you gotta shoot to kill? If I'm over there with a
Judo
knife,
Johnny,
some
bro,
of us
peace.
video,
Hope all's going
shoot
good
me in
for you, my
legs, I
brother.
bet you my big ass will go down.
She said, my big ass.
If I am not in your face, actively getting ready
Stockton
to take your
PD.
life, why are you trained to shoot me right here?
Stockton PD killed many people.
David Wells repeated, headshot, headshot, with a rifle this big.
That's
my
the
boy, but my boy was already
that's
dead.
the DA
That
I
was
just
second
showed.
round he was trying to do.
All these people were
Are you understanding?
killed here
These
in
are the things that
Stockton.
we need to bring out, because this is the shit we sit at home and we think about.
Plus more.
Sitting in
There's
the shit,
very
they don't
many
think
more.
about that. But let's take it down to the nitty gritty. There is some small changes to them, but it's big to us. Today we rally for what's right. That's all. And none of those police, it is in my opinion, as I turn to my own personal investigation, you had no right to use that lethal weapon against the police that I know about. You had no right. I appreciate y'all today. My partner is Mary Southern. She wants to be one of you. I love you to say.
This is my son, Shane, and his teammate. They're now 5 and 4. And speaking of training, I want to know what kind of training they give the cops when they take my son down, put him in a prone position, and cuff his hands behind his back, and lay on him and press an arm into the side of his neck. And about the 1 minute mark, he says, "I can't breathe."
I can't breathe!
I can't breathe.
4 minutes
I said that.
approximately. They continue to do that until you hear them say he's changing colors. And then guess what? My son's no longer here. So do they train the police to do that? Yes, they do. Do they train the police to continue checking somebody?
Yes. It sounds very familiar.
Why? Why did they not pay attention to my son when he said, "I can't breathe"? And now these 2 children have to grow up without a father. I want to know why.
Once again, we're rallying here so that we can
Thanks,
manage our
Judo.
rage, because what you don't want to see is an uncut raw mama about you killing a guy. That's what you don't want to see. If you want to see hell, don't let us get in the wrong. So we're going to come here and we're going to stay in this place and we're going to suppress this rage and we're going to be our voices for our loved ones. And we're going to stay decent and we're going to stay respectful so that we can be heard. We will work on these bills.
Yeah, they don't
We
they don't
will
like it when they
have
see
the
it.
opportunity to meet with our city leaders. 'Cause
Most people don't understand the shirt.
By the way, Angela Hayes is she's in care of cold case now. Even though they chose not to continue my son's case that happened some time ago, but I understand that Angela Hayes, she is in head of cold cases now.
Stevie Mayo, peace, bro. I'll talk to you later.
She is still located in the district attorney's office.
Thanks for doing the blue job for me, bro. Just being here, having my back.
Case person, just FYI, anybody that has a case. I have one more mother, Rosie. Saw Antoine grow up, devastated more than me. The lady sitting in the bed. She ain't black. Rosie.
Got to.
She saw him born. Her pain is just as great as mine. I have one more mother right here, and then we're going to disperse.
Antoinito. I called him that because I wanted him to be Mexican. To me, there was no color. I treat everybody the same. I don't know if I know you, if I don't know you, I'll give you the shirt on my back if I have to. Antoinito went down after his first shooting. I was with Stephanie in 9/11 at San Joaquin County General Hospital. I was there with her. She's my sister. And since then, Antoine always wanted to protect himself. To me, the Maurice family are the Mauricios. Rodriguez Silva's Mauricios. Tamaya is my daughter, very close friend of my daughter Jennifer. And like I said, my kids grew up together, and to me, there is no color. No color, no matter what it is. Homeless, I had a homeless man living with me for a while. To me, I don't care, just as long as the respect is there. To me, Antoine had the respect. I love him, I miss him, I didn't get to see him, but to me, he's always in my heart.
I needed her to say that because my boy wasn't no monster. Just leave his family alone. Just leave his family alone. I have another devastated mother here. Deceased.
Hi, my name is Denise Bradley. I'm the mother of Keenan Sean Bradley Jr. that was killed November 1st, 2016. He was labeled as a mass gunman. A mass gunman that the officer claimed that my son put a gun to his head. Him and the other guy, his little cousin, put a gun to his head. If somebody gonna put a gun to your head, you ain't gonna survive if they going to commit a crime. You're not gonna survive it. So the officer was able to pull himself back after the gun. He fell down, pull himself back up, and shoot my son in the back. But they wants to cover it up and lie like my son was confronting him, the officer. So they made it look like the bullet went inside my son's chest and went out his back. No, that's not what the funeral home told me. The funeral home told me that you guys shot my son from the back, and he didn't have a second wound. That's how they covered everything up. I found this out from the pathologist that said that the San Joaquin pathologist, Dr. Umalo, said that San Joaquin County has a good thing. They have it bad with covered up with officers involved shooting. He didn't want to be a part of this officers involved shooting. So when the time came, I kept running up there to the San Joaquin County coroner's office to try to get my son autopsy. The guy that's one of the coroner's men in there gonna lie and tell me that Dr. Malo done my son's autopsy. No, he didn't. No, he did not. You went and found another cricket sucker to do my son's autopsy, to cover up on y'all mess. I need all cases to be reopened. All of this, y'all is a crooked system, and y'all know it. But you know where you threw me on that? I couldn't fight no more for my son. I couldn't fight for no more for my son because I was dealing with another incident. And then you pressed charges on my husband too. To stop me to fighting for my son. But right now, I'm back and I'm alive now. I'm coming back stronger than I was. I'm fighting for my son. We with you.
I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. We're in a big crowd, but our voices are heard. If we can just hang together and work on these bills, And if nobody wants to work with certain people, I got that. I got that. I'm a people person. I can do that for us. To support me. To save our youth. Okay? Get equality.
Yeah.
And let's minimize the authority that Stockton PD has over a citizen.
Yes. Yes.
Okay? Can we do that as family?
Yes. Yes.
We agree on that? I love you all. Excuse me. Since the DA is here, Tori, can you come up here so we can get us some questions? Can you come up here? Since you're here, why not ask us some questions, right?
Rob?
We're not turning into no tax, we're being fair. Now, all that we want to hear is, can we look at some of these cases? Is that being a tax? I've asked that question.
Not at all.
You know,
She's an
your
elected
son,
official.
you know, your son, look into that case. This young lady's son, look at the case. But can you tell us about these cases? And can you reopen some of these cases? Because we shouldn't even be here today.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here today. So let me start by telling you how this whole process works. Okay, so anytime that there's an officer-involved critical incident where there's great bodily injury or death.
Can you speak louder, please?
Sure, sorry, I got this mask. Is it okay to take the mask off? Okay. Is it okay to take the mask off?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Dory.
So when you have a great bodily injury or death involving an officer, a countywide protocol is activated. So the employer agency, so for example, hypothetically, if it was Stockton Police Department, they, along with, I have a Bureau of Investigations in my office, as well as usually Stockton, Sheriff, and CHP, as well as the State Department of Justice. So there's city, county, and state agencies working in order to determine what occurred on this date, what happened. Those reports are probably 300, 400, 500 pages long, depending on the case and the circumstances. They go to the coroner's office, as that was mentioned, through pathology to make a determination as to cause and manner of death. And then there's toxicology, there's a number of interviews that occur, and then there's analysis as to the use of force of the officer. All of those documents are then put together, forwarded into my office. We then hire an expert to take a look at it and see and determine is it appropriate use of force. Sorry, appropriate use of force. Sorry. And so one of the things that you have to look at, and there's been some changes in the law, as to whether it was necessary or reasonable. And now it's reasonable to use that justifiable force. So you have to take a look and spend some time on Graham. You tend to see some other cases, and you're going to see it. It's probably more than you want to know, but you need to know.
When you say toxicology, do you also do the officer's toxicology?
No, and I heard that recommendation. It's been around for a long time. With Ralphie White brought it up many years ago, yes. And I think that there is momentum to get that in. But right now, the Police Officers' Bill of Rights do not allow us to do that unless there's probable cause to believe that the individual is under the influence.
Killing somebody's not probable cause?
That's what I'm saying.
Killing someone is not probable cause?
But if someone was just murdered...
Okay, so what's the procedure if one of us kills somebody?
So, yeah, we can get much more. Well, excuse me, not answer your question. So, if you're not under the influence of alcohol, you don't appear to be under the influence of alcohol, then most likely without or toxicology, then most likely not taken. So it depends. There must be an articulated fact as to believing that you're under the influence in order to do that. So that it just depends on the circumstances. That's why it's not a yes or no. All murder victims?
Yeah, do you guys take toxicology of all murder victims?
Wow.
We take toxicology.
They take toxicology of all murder victims.
So they're all, yes, they do that. So, anything else?
Can you open these cases, reopen these cases?
I can reopen cases. There's the statute of limitations is not run. A manslaughter can have anywhere from 2 to 6 years. A murder has no statute of limitations. Now, some people believe that every case is a murder. It's not. There's different degrees in the state of California. There's manslaughter, there's second degree, and first degree murder. First degree is the intentional killing of a human being with malice or forethought expressed or implied, which carries a 25 case, and it is a case in which we can establish there was an intent to kill. Second degree is a little bit more kind of an additional area. Then manslaughters can be from negligence, from gross negligent to heat of passion. And so you'll see those, and then of course you have vehicular manslaughter, where you'll often see those associated with driving under the influence or reckless driving or something along those lines. So those are kind of the tiers. A manslaughter manslaughter, the statute would run, it runs 3 to 6 years depending on the case. If it's a murder, it can be, the statute never runs. So like that was never the case. If we can solve it 10, 20, 30, the last case we just did was 40 something years old. We try to solve it, and that statute gives us more opportunity. Over 20. Involved in shootings? No. The shootings, well, we have, no, actually, we have one that's pending right now, next door, so.
none has been convicted.
No, it's not none, sir, it's not none. Well, then go next door next, because we do have one there.
How many have you convicted?
We're next door trying to get that conviction right now.
But it's, so it's not. It is not.
No, it's not. Well, it's not done.
So it's not.
All right.
Everybody's up for election. She gonna work for us. She don't get no vote.
Why is she here anyway?
So every case gets an evaluation just like any other case. We make a determination as to whether or not we can put down or go down a path. We have worked on laws. We have worked on, I have worked on significant amount of law. And I have charged officers that have done it. So I'm not afraid of charging officers, but there has to be a crime to do it. Nobody deserves to be treated differently.
So you're saying the none of these are crimes?
So if there is, yes, then we'll do it. I mean, there's a case there, then we move forward. Excuse me, straight up. If there's a case there, then we move forward. If it's not, I also have to have the courage to say there's not. So it's not an easy job, and there's a no.
I can't. I can't. I want to. I want to speak. I can't.
Yes, we are working to change the system. We are working to change the system. Dion, I never said that. I have never said that. I have never said that. Okay, but don't let me hear that, because I have spoken against that.
Other folks right here. My son came 10 years ago, but her son, and me alone, and I do. So what are you gonna tell the family when they see everybody like this? What can you tell the family? Not me. Tell them.
Look at her son like that don't tell. Vision that like that don't tell. What would you do?
I do.
I love it. That's what I'm doing. Document.
Can you send me some of that?
Yeah.
Okay. To my email? Or how you do it?
Do you mind putting it out there, or do you got a pen? You got a pen? and
Oh, I'll
paper?
put it out there.
Okay. You can just say it right here. I'll have one of my mods write it down, or I can go back and get it for you. For me.
FALLEDU3@gmail.com.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I knew Timothy White.
The answer is one. Exactly what happened to Shane.
And you're saying that you have looked at these faces, but you didn't charge that officer. So when you say that you're doing things, and we still have officers that have killed, we have mothers here that have the same officer that killed their children. So you're not doing your job. You are not holding these officers accountable, and leaning on somebody's back while they're telling you that they can't breathe is absolutely intentional murder. So I don't know how you can sit here and provide this murdered by police not long ago. And your first response was police don't like to say. It wasn't different.
Thank you for your words. I meant no disrespect to you, ma'am. I was just saying, I was asking a question. It was not disrespectful.
It was disrespectful, and many people noticed
Let me apologize for that. I didn't mean it in a disrespectful way.
Doesn't matter what you meant, you caused harm.
I didn't mean to be disrespectful. Please
It
know
doesn't
I-
matter what you meant. You caused harm.
Okay, well, I'm gonna.
She's done.
First of all, thank you, DA Troy Verber Salazar, for coming out and answering as many questions as she could. It's not all left up to her. I believe she was specific in that. She's not going to give us the answers that we want to hear if the law doesn't allow her to. Now, she did state that if she doesn't justify it, or not justify it, that it goes to other levels. If we want this communication to be beneficial to us both, let's not attack the messenger. Let's try. And my boy is dead, straight up assassinated and murdered. But if we can just come to a medium on an honest note from this day forward, so that we can get the accountability. We got hella questions, because hella wrong be wrong. But just for today, DA Salazar said she's 100 basically in her honesty and judging these cases. That's what she just said. And if she can't do it, she will send it to somebody else. How are we going to bridge the gap and get some things accomplished without getting up under them? Shantae McCoy said today, get in their business. Get in their business. Get in their business. So I think
Your job is to deal with the people.
no.
None of the cases being How many cases been?
Family, I appreciate you all coming out. I appreciate your voices. All that. Stand together.
I think we answered all your questions.
You don't know all of my questions. I was just wondering if I could have a question to talk to you.
I don't,
You know, we want to have a real conversation. I'm happy.
but I'm not gonna hold you. I know what I stand for. And I'm gonna do whatever's necessary
Very valid.
to get my grind on.
And I wasn't being
And I know how to manipulate just like they do.
Absolutely.
To get what I
So
need
your
to
intent
get.
and the actual
That's my
action are
son.
not the same, but I can see that you're
Yes,
just
he
very
know that
defensive
too,
about
right?
yourself, so I won't actually ask questions of you.
And
This
he's
is
going
very
against
telling
you,
right now.
arguing
Like I
at you,
came up to you
and disrespecting
asking and you're like, you just want to
He's not
attack me.
gonna give
I
me
literally just said I wanted to ask you some
a
questions.
reasonable explanation
I don't know, can
and
you?
an honest man.
Excuse
I
me,
need to
I
hear
just
you,
wanted to follow
and
up
you
on
damn
the
sure you need
conversation
to
that
hear
we were
me.
having with
You
earlier.
ain't gotta
Let me
holler
just
at
answer
me
her questions real
for
quick.
me to
I'm
hear
happy to
you.
answer her questions, but they have to be fair. And I feel like
I'm
you're
doing this
attacking
for
me
us.
personally, which is your right to do so. But I also have a right to stand
And I'm
up
gonna
for my
continue
voice.
to do it
and
this
have
way.
a say.
How did you
So,
feel like I
So I
attacked you out of
appreciate you
curiosity?
coming
what's your
out.
question?
Did you not like
I
the
know
questions?
everybody
I was just going to say, you were talking about
But we
statutes
still
and stuff, but you
can't
didn't
get
actually
this
answer
far
whether or
up
not
on this deal.
there is the opportunity or the intention of opening any of these cases here.
Finding
I
out
said what I said. If there's any case
why
that
this
the
shit is
statute
going
doesn't
on.
run, we are more than
What
happy
the
to
hell
send it
is
to
it?
the attorney
You got
general.
wild out.
I've done it on many cases to have an evaluation determined if the investigation was properly done and if my determination was justified or
So
not.
in the case of Colby Friday, Shane Sutherland, James Rivera, Antoine Doris, are those any cases that you're going to be reopening?
James Rivera was before my time. It happened to it, so it was before my time that administration made that determination and did what they did with it. Colby Friday sent it to the AG's office, and then on the other case, yeah, it was a determination that's been made. It's just policy.
So is it okay if I ask a question?
Did I answer all your questions okay?
I mean, I didn't get really an answer on whether you're going to be opening the cases. You said that you already sent one to the AG. Is
I've
that?
sent numerous cases over the years to the Attorney General for a secondary evaluation and have sent it to the feds for a civil rights violation.
So with in the Colby Friday, is that what you said you sent to the AG?
I can't comment on where the cases are if they're pending, but I tell you my practice and procedure.
And
Any parent can also take it, and any family member can take it to the Attorney General and to the feds for a secondary review as well. So it's a
It
process.
shouldn't be up to the family, though. The family's
But
already
they have
been
that right to
through
do
so
that.
much. Yeah,
That's what I
absolutely.
mean. I'm just saying.
James Rivera has sent before your time. Does that mean that you're not allowed to reopen the case?
No, the case happened before I didn't make that determination. That's
But are you allowed to reopen it if you look through the facts and realize that a mistake was made and an officer should be charged?
if it still falls within the grounds of murder versus manslaughter. So that's why I know that's a hard concept to say. It's more law than you want, but
Are you currently looking into whether there's a distinction on that case? Okay, and then Shane Sutherland?
that one is open, so I can't say anything.
So you keep talking about a lot of different procedures and everything.
Yeah, sorry, it's probably more law than anybody would want.
Well, I'm actually in law school, so I can go there with you. Because it's weird, because you keep throwing that in people's faces, which is kind of like elitism. Because like some people out here
No, I mean, it's
can't
probably
read that
boring.
stuff.
I just think it's probably boring.
So, I just wanted to know, like, you keep saying, like, you understand that there might be something wrong. You can't do anything. It's like the law. Do you have, like, oriented course of action? Like, are you able to affect change? Like, you're saying, like, the Bill of Rights, and certain things are preventing you from taking the steps that these family members are asking for. But you as a DA, can you start making changes so those laws allow you to make those, to take these actions?
We did. We've been supporting the changes to allow more equity in the process. We body worn camera. We meet with the families and spend hours with them talking about the case, telling them the evidence and the facts that we have in front of us. And then we talk about the law and we go through the entire legal process with them. We explain the law. Their attorneys are there, so their attorneys can ask questions too. They usually run 2 to 3 hours long. And we go through the whole process with them. So we do sit down and spend a great deal amount of time with them.
So that's how you keep telling me how your process is set up. But what I'm concerned about is like, what are you going to do to change those processes? Because it's obvious the process that you guys have now are not effective. The process that you have now are still leaving these families out here having these rallies. Absolutely. So is there a way that you can, as an elected official, change these policies and change the ways that things are supposed to be done in order to get what these families want?
Well, we put a bill forward today, or this past year, to assist with victim services, because before I wasn't even allowed to give you victim services if you were involved in an officer instance, that bill's gone through, so we might get some progress there. So we fought very hard for us to have those resources to assist families during this extremely difficult time. So we looked at it from the healing perspective, and we looked at it from the legal perspective.
Yeah.
From the legal perspective, we've advocated for changes in the law, and those have gone through by and large.
And have you guys, so those changes, have you guys sat down with like system impacted families to make those or create and curate those changes? Or who did you guys sit down with? A lot of times we see you guys sit down with just yourselves and the law enforcement and the people that are like these policies are directly affecting. You're not actually sitting down with those. So like I understand that there may be some movement, but as we can see by this event here, it's not enough movement. So how can you like speed this up? How can we make this more impactful? How can we get more movement of what these families want out here? Because like I understand and I appreciate you for like going over the procedure, but going over the procedure is almost like gaslighting people because they know the procedures. They are system impacted families and they went through the procedures, they went through the processes, and they're still impacted. They're still harmed. They're still not whole. They still don't have accountability. They still don't have justice. So like, how do you go the extra mile past what is already set in front of you as an elected official and do more?
Well, I come out here and I listen, and I take questions. I don't hide in my office. I come out here, and even when they're rough and tumble, I come out here and I listen because I want to hear the voices. I work for all of you, and I try my best to do what I can. I have to look at the evidence, and whatever the evidence takes me is where it takes me. If it proves that the crime isn't meeting the threshold of law, then I have to have the courage to do it. Not for votes, not for threats, not for anything like that.
And I totally get that. Like you have to follow what's under the law. But my question is when that law is morally wrong, when that law is like, what do you do? What are you going to do if you have to enforce a law that you know is wrong?
When murders are being allowed under that law, the law is working. When murders continue to be allowed under the law, it's not working.
So that's what we work with. What I have right now is the tools that I have, and I work with them. I try to create a better pathway, try to communicate better. I meet with all the families that want to meet. I listen to them. I've listened to Dion over the years, and we work to create the changes. That's all we can do. But I cannot prosecute a person that didn't commit a crime. It's just as unethical as, you know.
Yeah, and
so
I understand that.
we have
And
to
I
balance
appreciate
that out.
And I travel to a lot of cities, and I definitely don't. You're the first DA that's
Did
been
that
on
come
the
out?
street.
What
That's
she
really
just
cool.
said, guys? Did it come out?
These
Hurry
families
up, tell me.
appreciate it. And I'm sure they appreciate like you hopefully sitting here taking notes. Were you taking notes on your phone? Yeah, hopefully taking notes so you can like really understand.
I have the list of accountable things.
And maybe not even just like taking notes, but also like how are you going to bring these families into
Our police union does not like her.
Committees with us. I've had Dion on my committees before to help me with understand what it's like from a different perspective. Like you said, I can't sit in the room with the same people. I got to sit with people with lived experience. So we work very hard to create that pathway so that the voices can be heard, and that will drive the changes in the laws. So we work very hard to do that. And sometimes, it's successful, sometimes it's not, and it's very difficult to answer specific questions because
I know it's difficult, and I understand that's difficult, and it's also difficult to prosecute laws that aren't there. So it's like you're saying, it's about like making the laws impactful enough that you can, as a DA, go and prosecute or go and actually do what these families want.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's almost like your hands are just tied, and like it's like that sucks, but it's still like.
And she invites me to the office and get to know her and see what she's doing, and if you have an idea or whatever, stay with her the day, see the media, see the people she's talking to, see the team, because she's not liked by both sides. She's an honest, was like in and out DA that wants to make change, but she's not going to do something that's like, she's not going to make it the law.
And no, I totally get that. So it's like maybe it's like not even like so to take your DA role out of it, like as a community member, what can you do to like change these laws so you then can step into your DA role and be like, oh, I can do this.
It's a very difficult job because like Dion said and your mother said, what about put your son in these shoes? I do with everyone, with every one. I have 2 sons and a daughter, and I think about them. And in every case, whether it be a rape, a robbery, a murder, an assault, whatever the case may be, you always think about the victims and what it means to them and how you internalize. And it's a very tough job because there are times when children have been seriously harmed. And I can't proceed, even though I believe I have the right suspect in the case, say like a child molestation or something like that, but
I don't have independent evidence. I don't have corroborating evidence that would tell me differently. I can't proceed just because I don't, maybe don't like the person for the harm that they did and those kinds of things, and you wish you could do it, doesn't mean I can't. Because that's the difference between the district attorney and not. That's the difference between law and anarchy.
No, I definitely
if there's
get
not
it.
somebody there to do the filter, and it's you're going to be just as unhappy as they are. I'm sure other people are unhappy with other things they do, but that's the part of the job you just have to take. And if it's it's a tough part of the job, but it's not from a lack of caring or wanting to help or making a difference, but I have to be fair and I have to look at the laws and I have to look at the evidence. And all of that needs to come out before people start making a decision. So I would highly recommend you take a look at the investigations. We post them online. They're 20, 30, 40 pages long where we talk about why we made the decision we made and summarize the witnesses. So if they're all listed there. And you can go through them. And like I said, if you're not happy with the decision I made, then petition the AG and the feds to do it, and they'll look into it. I have done it, and they haven't found an error in my legal reasoning, and they haven't found an error in my investigation so far.
And that's because the laws are set up for that. The laws are not set up for accountability. The laws are set up to continue the oppression. The laws are set up so that happens. So like I understand, I get it. Like I told you, I'm come from the law field, so I get that your hands may be tied. But then it's like, what do we do as community members, as like a community, to change these laws so you can go in and be a more effective DA?
But she has a position where she can actually be a part of these changes, and she does that. She goes and does different bills that she goes and signs her into as a part of it. And she wants to. She really does.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear
she
more
really
about.
wants to do well for this county of San Joaquin. And if she didn't care, she wouldn't sit out there. She wouldn't answer the questions. Even though they're tough questions, even though she's a attorney.
Yeah, your first year I saw that for sure. Kudos.
I keep.
What year of law school are you in?
First year. I took a break to do this.
Good job. That's awesome. Congratulations.
I keep hearing law. Do you have, excuse me, do you have access to actually change laws, or are you?
That's the legislators. That's assemblymen.
That's why I'm asking, because
everybody thinks I have almighty power. Right?
But
the support a bill.
But she has no authority to make it law.
But what about policy?
I don't have policy over law enforcement either. So a lot of people think that, like, I think you're kind of getting to that question too. If I'm hearing it, not you, but the crowd was getting to this question. If I'm hearing it right, excuse me, was that why don't I can't fire a police officer, nor can I hire him. Those policies are within each internal law enforcement agency, and that's why I said I wasn't being a smart aleck. I was just saying, take a look at the Police Officer Bill of Rights. It's a very extensive, all-encompassing document that has some merit to it, and it has some things that I'm sure other people don't think are fair. But that's not for me to decide. It is what it is, and you live within it. But the laws as they are right now, we will apply the laws as they are today, and we work to change them every year. We've been pushing bills to make changes, to make it more ethical, more transparent, and to build that trust. And that's what we can do. But it's up to the legislators, the Senate, the Assembly. I'm not punching, but I don't have, that kind of authority. But all I can do is apply the laws that I have today with the facts and the evidence. And the other thing too is that people have to realize we have to look at it in its totality, and how does this apply, and what witnesses are cooperating with us, and which ones are not. What is our toxicology, our DOJ? What is our reenactment? We do a big reenactment of the vehicle law. I mean, there's a multitude of things that we do. So we look at all of that. Like I said, they're usually about 300-400 pages long. Then body-worn cameras, and then there's a multitude of those that go on, and then we make a determination with it. It initially goes to one. I didn't get a chance to finish this because I got a little sideways there, but it goes to one attorney is assigned that night to work on the case with law enforcement. There's usually a multi-agency, so it's the state, the county, and the city. And I know a lot of people think that that's not the best policy, but it's
especially with the law enforcement. See, law enforcement's at the table in reviewing law enforcement.
Well, not necessarily reviewing, but investigating, because there is nobody else. Who else is going to do it?
But
you know what I mean?
There should be someone else. Because if the cops do it, they have a vested interest in not being like that's crazy to have people who have a vested interest at the table. Like,
I also have a nonprofit. When I want to talk about my salary, I cannot be at the table.
Yeah.
You have to recuse yourself. So shouldn't that be the same? So that brings me to like, do you think the laws are right? Like, do you think there needs to be change?
Well, I think in our county, at least we have multiple agencies. We have state, county, and city. Others just do employer. So if you were employed by that agency, your employer did the investigation, which I do think is suspect and should not occur. In our county, we have the state comes in, the county agencies, and the city agencies. Plus, we have independent medical examiner. I didn't get a chance to talk a little bit about that. It's hard to talk about that stuff because it brings back hard memories for people. So I'm trying to answer the questions and not hurt anybody here. But so they're an independent agency that does an investigation as well. That is not traditional law enforcement. That's the independent medical examiner. So you have a multitude of agencies working on the investigation. I do believe that's a better pathway because you don't have employer investigating employee. Like you said, you're not sitting at the table asking for your own raise. You know, so that's a good process in that sense. Then it comes to an attorney evaluates it in my office. Then it goes to a committee, an entire diverse committee, and then it comes to me. So in the end, it's my decision, but it does have a complete process within my office and a process over there. And we have sent cases out to ask, was the investigation fair? Was it thorough? How can we improve? Did we do something wrong? Whatever the case may be, we're always looking for ways to improve ourselves. So that's where we're at. But when you ask that question, it sounds like a good question, but who would investigate it? There's no other
Maybe you guys should create a body that investigates that's separate from all those entities.
We tried to create that in 2015 in partnership with Stanford University, and we couldn't get anybody to take the bill for us. Now
we tried again.
We did. Last year,
it's a different world. Like 2020, nothing's like.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything I did before 2020 is irrelevant now.
So it was a long year, huh? But what's important about that is we're ahead of it in San Joaquin County.
Yeah.
A lot of counties still do employer-employee relations, investigation. We haven't done that since 1993. And so now with the new laws, the Attorney General will take a case where a firearm is not used. So those are going to be cases more likely vehicular involved. Those are kind of cases where there's not a weapon used. So we're moving in that direction, and it should be starting this summer. Will be the first phase of it, but you're going to have to put people across the state. I mean, we're 750,000. LA's 10 million people, I think, or something. Quote me, but I know there are a high number up there. So you're going to have these independent agencies. But who are they going to be? They're going to be law enforcement again. They're going to be retired law enforcement or independent. So it's harder than
that's
it
another
sounds.
system that it just sucks because it seems like the whole system is just like messed up in so many ways that it's never going to allow for like it's never going to allow for these demands these moms had today.
But you're also assuming that every officer is going to do that, and that's not fair to them. I'm not here to defend
not even
anybody, but you know what I mean.
Maybe there's also laws there's laws like when there's laws. So like if you do something and it's clear cut defined, that is illegal.
Yeah.
So like if we were to create more laws that were for law enforcement to say like this is clear cut illegal, then we wouldn't even have the conversation like, oh, maybe there's some good cops. Well, this cop did this and it says it's against the law, point blank and period. But we don't have those. We have the Officer Bill of Rights that negates all accountability. So like it just goes back to like what are we going to do to change the laws so you can be a more effective DA?
I was told by an officer once that when they show up to a scene that everybody that's around is suspect to them. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, you can't tell who's good or who's bad. And at this time, that's the same thing we're having with the blue uniforms. We want help. If we ask for help, who do we ask for? I mean, I'm going to throw a name. Huff. Jay Huff. That's who I'll be calling. I've got a little rapport with this guy, one officer. But when they come and when we see them, we want to run the other way. Or in my case, I want to run right at them. And I want to have the camera in their face. They don't like that. But my thing is when we see these guys, you go to restaurants, right? You've been to a restaurant. I know you do. You go across the street and they've got somewhere over there, A, B, C. Oh, it's a D restaurant. Oh, they got bugs or something. They had problems. On a restaurant. But these guys right here, they drive around in these cars, and CRT's really bad. And how do we know? How do I send my grandbabies, 7 of them, to talk to an officer when they see all that's going on? And they're asking me, when the 9-year-old asked me, is that a good cop? What do you say?
Well, what we're doing, we just put in for them, we just got authorization, is that we're going to have a co-responding team. So on calls that are mental health, substance
Yes.
abuse,
Oh, I
poverty
love
driven,
this. Yeah.
we're gonna segue away from a law enforcement response and more to a holistic response. So we're gonna have an opportunity to engage with them, start getting confidence with them, start getting connection, and
Would
eventually
there still be
moving
law
them.
enforcement involvement? Because I know a lot of community members love that idea, but they hate that it still comes with law enforcement involvement.
It will initially, because 988 will take a while to get up. So you've got to realize that people are still going to call 911.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just
It's something we learn when
so
we're
I
the
think
youngest.
what we
yeah.
saw in Olympia, Washington, under the studying we did there, is that it started off that way and it slowly weeds itself off. It's a corrective measure. So and what they found now is that even when you call 911 and if it's a familiar face, somebody that we've dealt with on a regular basis, and we know they don't even send traditional law enforcement. They just send the community response team and the familiar face program, and they go out and they work with them. And it might be transportation sometimes just having a bad day. Sometimes they need to go to VHS and get in and check out and get some help
And
there.
because of that, I think another thing I've heard a lot of community members say is, like, I understand the transition that's needed, but when there's law enforcement involvement, things like the homelessness, things like mental illness become criminalized versus holistic. Because, like, even though you may have more like a holistic approach to responding, if law enforcement involved, then they're still recording you down. They're still putting you in the frequent offenders. You're still getting into this carceral system, even if they're not necessarily responding, because the systems are tied together. So, like, it's almost like a gaslighting thing. Like, okay, here's another program, but if law enforcement and the things that made the last program that you guys are making this new program for, if you're including the things that made that program bad in this new program, then you're just setting it up for failure. And then also, what if people are like, I don't want to call because law enforcement's still involved?
Absolutely, and the 988 will be your option. So you can call,
but not until like a while though.
Yeah, but you can still call VHS. They're open 24/7. They have a hotline, so you can call Behavioral Health Services 24/7 and get a response. So there is that tool available. What we're looking at too is expanding it to family violence, because we see a lot of misdemeanor domestic violence, and a lot of the witnesses in the home are young children. And so we're looking to have a co-responding team there so that we can now provide wraparound services from the moment the call comes in, taking pressure off law enforcement to focus on more serious crime as well, but also to allow us to get those families healed. Because if we keep bringing everybody into the system, we're not making it better.
Yeah, you're criminalizing everything.
So we have to look and see what deserves to go in that lane and what doesn't. And we have to do a better job in doing that.
I think we got to get as many things out of that lane as possible,
we were the
and
first
get
county
resources.
to come out for no fines and fees.
And
the
you're
governor-
also a first county. I do a lot of work in Sacramento. Sacramento is setting up a similar program, but they don't want to include the domestic violence. So that's something that's really great and really different, and something that the community down there was pushing for. So that's really great to hear that you're, more than considering it, but that's actually going to be implemented.
No, we're implementing it.
Yeah.
So we're in the process of doing the work right now, and to do it because we really want to focus on restoring families and their health and wellness.
I mean, that's what it's always about. Everything's about just resources for these families to make everyone whole. I mean, all of this stuff comes from like harm and just trauma and just oppression and just all these things that, that makes it impossible to like just live,
Well, and 50% of our job is public safety, and 50% is healing.
Yeah.
So if we don't heal people, we'll never have public safety. So
but I
we
also
have
think
to
like
heal.
the rehabilitation center or system is not the way to heal. Like more holistic approaches, like you were talking about. Just like wholeheartedly getting many things away from you, almost like because you're the DA. But like, it's much like stuff left for you to do, and that means we're criminalizing less things within our community and actually offering resources instead of like repeated recidivism, repeated criminalization of things. But yeah, I appreciate you for just speaking with us, coming here. Thank you so much. much. Yeah, my name's Alex with Black Zebra.
Black Zebra. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Thank you guys so
Thank you
much.
guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Tori.
Come in and
Yeah, come
actually
in and
see what
see.
she's doing. How can community kind of engage with you? Is there like a way that they can offer feedback?
Absolutely. We don't have all the ideas. The people do. And I work with people and we want to drive those ideas. So, but this is one thing.
I can't get no more from her.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and take it down.
I can't get no more from Tori. It's over, guys. We're not going to the steps of the courthouse. 2 hours, 16 minutes. Princess and Pirate. We need to get rid of police and bring back constitutional peace officers. Yeah. Ma'am, your name?
My name is Jamie. I'm just her assistant.
Yeah. Oh, I've met you. I'm not going to go into it. I don't know if you remember me, but I met you
Yeah.
a little while back. So.
Yeah, I purposely left one of my other jobs just to come work for her because she's one of the only DAs I've ever met that's been passionate about really what's going on with people. She has a very hard job to do, but she does really listen to everyone in the community.
I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
We need that.
You need that, yeah.
Thank you.
People need to be accountable, and she understands that. She understands that. People are not always going to agree with the decisions she has to make, but, she at least has everyone have a seat at the table.
And I know, and
Yeah.
I hear how her and the police are. I mean, they talk about this agency being in bed with that agency, and they don't mesh, so
No,
it's
and
not
the
in bed with
The
them.
police department are not happy with her either.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so-
People say she's just for the cops, and
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know there's a little problem there, but I mean, I'm just documenting. So.
No, and it's good. People need to be able to have their voices heard. It's
Yeah.
important. And she understands it. She wants people to have their voices heard.
Cool, man. Thank you.
Yeah, she's, I would never want her job. It's a hard job.
Yeah.
Very, very hard job. But, she's
know.
she's born and raised here in Stockton, California. She wants to make as much change before her time is up.
Yeah. I know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How you doing? Yeah. You want to say a couple words to my people on my camera? No? Okay. You all right? It'll get better, boy. Okay? All right, guys, I'm gonna get off here. Those two right there, those two and him are all DA people. It's time to break down. I have 15%. This is Antoine Brice's mother. His son. I'm out, guys. Thanks for being here. True CPS knows. I will be live later. I gotta go get my phone charged up, and I've got to get myself charged up. So love you guys. 10 people here. I love you guys. Please share this. Please, Stockton needs help. we'll see if the DA is going to do what she said, and peace out.